I think it's important to do all of these things at once. I feel like if you have an immersive approach and you go, you know what, like I'm doing all this tomorrow, that creates a sense of like this new identity that you're kind of jumping straight into. What's going on, guys? It's Perna here, and on today's video, we're gonna go through a few brutal truths that young guys need to accept to live their best lives. So these are gonna cover your health, your relationships, it'll affect your business. There's a lot of things we're gonna cover, so make sure you watch this one to the end. Now, jumping straight into number one is that you're gonna be pretty shit at most things. And that is okay. A lot of guys freak out because they'll compare themselves to people who are kind of naturally good at something. Maybe they've achieved things easier, they're in a better situation, and they've maybe had better luck, and they'll go, I'm shit at this, I'm never gonna learn, I better stick to what I know. And it just isn't the case, and it's a very limiting belief. And something like myself, I have become an expert in changing people's bodies. I've transformed 9,000 physiques more, and now I can get myself into whatever shape I want to be in very comfortably, very easily. But this wasn't always the case. I grew up a chubby kid. I hated my body. I didn't even know how to change it. Then I was a skinny kid and I didn't know how to build muscle. And I've gone through this process. Yes, it's taken me a long time, but I've gone through and I've learned the process until now I can teach it. So there's nothing that you cannot learn. And if you are bad at something, that is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you haven't put in the time or practice to actually get to where you need to be. Number two, you have to work on yourself mentally. A lot of guys, it's kind of natural for guys to kind of keep their emotions locked up and bottle everything up and don't really, talk about their emotions or don't even deal with them. And it is the quickest way to derail your mental health is to not even acknowledge it or talk about it or work on it. So guys, you need to work on your mental health. You have to do certain things in your day, in your week, where you're focusing on these things and you're improving your own self-awareness. If you improve your own self-awareness, not only will people actually enjoy hanging around you more, but they'll actually treat you with more respect and you'll feel better about yourself and you'll feel more on the ball, and it'll literally level up your life, of your business, your personal life, your physical life, everything, because self-awareness is key. You need to know where you are, you need to know which areas can be improved, and you need to know which areas are your strengths. Something I do a lot of the time is a lot of daily self-reflections. At the end of the day, I'll kind of sit back and go, what did I do well today? What could I have improved upon? Where did I lose my shit? What am I not proud of? How can I fix that tomorrow? Something like that, you'll be surprised how good that is at kind of reframing your mind and just getting better and better all the time. Number three, you should make yourself attractive. Unfortunately, we live in a very superficial world where you will be judged on what you look like. It sucks, it's annoying, and it's probably not fair, but it is just the case. If you go for a job interview, you're gonna get judged on what you look like. If you're going out on a date or you're trying to find a partner, you're gonna get judged on what you look like. There is no excuse not to take pride in what you look like. And that's why I think it's actually a good thing too. It's not all bad, because taking a sense of pride in what you look like translates and you feel more confident, you feel better about yourself, and then that kind of transcends into other areas of your life. So on that, I'm gonna give you guys a few tips on literally how you can look more attractive today. Now, the first one is developing a skincare routine. Obviously, your skin is the largest organ in your body, unless you're me, I wish. So it's pretty important in trying to do everything you can. Skin is one of those things where the health of it is going to be impacted by your diet, your hormones, genetics, and also your skincare routine. So this is what we're doing, is to kind of tick all of the boxes. So lately, I've been using Tiege Hanley products. Where are they? Bang. I've been using these for a couple of months because the brand reached out to me and I had never tried them before. So I was like, let me try, let me see what happened. And I used it for a couple of months and I was getting comments going, your skin looks clear, what's going on? And I actually really like it. So I was more than happy to include this in my video. Now, a few things. I do this skincare routine morning and night because you need to establish consistency in what you do. Like literally don't miss a day. Don't miss a time, just make it part of your normal routine, and I guarantee you'll get a lot out of it. The first one is a face wash. So you're gonna wanna do this morning and night. I just do this in the shower, it's quite convenient. I try and have 2 showers a day, obviously. The next one is a serum. I've never used these in the past, but I was doing a bit of research, and apparently they just help get a bit more nutrients into the skin, and it kind of feels nice, like it feels a bit tighter on my face. So I do this after, like basically, as soon as I've done the wash, I'll dry my face and put 1 pump of this on, and then I put a moisturizer on after that. So obviously, in the morning, you'll use AM moisturizer, and you could guess the evening one is AM, not PM moisturizer. Sorry people. PM moisturizer in the evenings. And if you want, you can have an eye cream as well, which I personally do because I don't know, I feel like you're not supposed to have certain moisturizers going near your eyes unless it's eye cream. So I use that as well. And every now and then, every few days, you'll have a scrub. This is just like a normal exfoliant that you'll use in the shower. So I don't really count, every few days I'll just use that. Kind of feels nice, exfoliate the skin a little bit. And that way, at least you'll have consistency and ticking all the boxes. So if you guys want to try this, you have my 100% endorsement. Really, really good stuff. So hit the link below if you want to stock up on some. And it also comes in like a nice pack where you just have everything you need. It's got instructions on there, so you can't stuff up, especially if you haven't got a skincare routine. It'll be your best bet on actually establishing one. And because you guys are watching this, you guys get 30% off your first box. Just click the first link in the description and make the most of this deal, guys. You will not regret it. Back to the video. Now, I have a constant grooming routine where I pretty much just try and establish a look as best as I can. I'll use this beard trimmer here. This has like numbers on it, so I can keep it at a desired length like that. And then I can also take this off and just like do this and clip the neck. Apologies for the redness here, it happens sometimes. On top of like other manscaping duties if necessary, which often are. And obviously just get consistent haircuts. Try a few, see what suits your head, ask the barber for their advice if you don't know. Try a few out and just keep it consistent. I get mine probably every 3 to 4 weeks. Now, when it comes to looking better, your diet is gonna literally solve nearly all of your problems. I personally eat a diet really high in unprocessed food. So my diet is very quote unquote clean. I eat a lot of animal products. I have fruits, vegetables, and if I choose any like kind of starchy carbs, it'll be from rice. That's pretty much it. 90% of my diet is that, and a couple of reasons. One, I don't like to have a lot of processed things and additives in there because I don't know what it is, but I don't feel very good when I have those things in there. My skin isn't as good when I have those foods in there. And genuinely, it just doesn't feel right. I also don't know about my appetite when I'm eating a bunch of shit. When I eat unprocessed foods, on the other hand, I feel good, my skin looks better. It's easier for me to eat in a calorie deficit. That's maybe a personal thing, but I also believe it's backed by your hunger and satiety signals, allowing to work in a better place. For example, if you have a piece of fruit versus pure sugar from like candy, one has more fiber, it's gonna keep you a bit more full. The other one is just gonna kind of less volume, it's gonna make you a bit more hungry. So I tend to go for unprocessed foods for that reason as well. If you eat a diet that allows you to stick to a calorie deficit easier, in the long run, you're gonna be leaner, and if you're leaner, you will look better. Your face will look better, your jawbones will come out, your cheek, you'll look structured. I genuinely believe so many people can look more attractive if they lost weight. I'm not saying that to like sound harsh, but it's just the way it is. Like so many people think, oh, I'm not attractive. And maybe there's like 20% body fat, and if they got down to 15, they would rethink that. And exercise. Everyone should be doing some form of exercise. There is no excuse not to. Our bodies are made to exercise. So I personally recommend resistance training, like weights. Try to do that. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just do it like 3 to 5 times per week. Try and smash it out. And that way, at least you're gonna build muscle. That's gonna help you stay leaner as well. You're gonna look better. Everyone likes a bit of muscle. And also, you will find it easier to stick to your diet when you're doing some form of exercise as well. Now, the next one is your wardrobe. This will obviously depend on your style and whatever. I'm not gonna dictate that for you, but I'll tell you a few things that I like. Now, one is a good basic t-shirt. So this is Theory, and Cuts also make good basic t-shirts. So I basically have 4 of these in black and white, and then I have several Cuts ones. Simple, basic, fits on your body well. Stick with that, get a couple of those. Next one is pants. Now, I personally have a few favorites. Jeans, I just get them from Legend London, so that's all secured. And then trousers, I actually like a couple of good formal options, I'll show you. These wide, straight-legged grays are from Reese. Reese make really good stuff in Australia, but it is a little bit expensive. So if you want something a little bit cheaper, I would suggest Uniqlo. These are like black formal pants, and these are like basically straight wide-leg chinos. And these are from Uniqlo, and they're actually quite cheap. Like, great value. Get yourself a nice collared shirt, a few basics, nice jacket, different styles of pants. It goes a long way. I used to think you had to get designer stuff and spend a lot of money to get kind of respect through your clothing, but honestly, people don't have a clue. And a lot of the time too, when people wear designer, they're flexing for no reason. Whereas if you just get some good quality outfits that aren't expensive, but look nice and well put together, trust me, that's doing way more than any designer brand could. Now, that is a lot of information on the physical side. I am aware of that, but I think it's important. And I think it's important to do all of these things at once. A lot of people will be like, oh, take 1 or 2 things away from this. But I feel like if you have an immersive approach and you go, you know what, like I'm doing all this tomorrow, that creates a sense of like this new identity that you're kind of jumping straight into. It's easier to stack habits together and then each one keeps the other one accountable. For example, if you're going to the gym, then you really are gonna wanna eat healthy that day as opposed to doing one or the other. You'll feel great. It kind of lends itself to this new identity, this new persona that you're stepping into, where your standards are higher and you go, you know what, I'm gonna look after myself, and then you do it all. Trust me, you feel so much better. Don't just do one, do all of these things. Now moving to something a little bit different on relationships and friends. In friendships, you will be judged on your ability to provide value. Your friends in life are probably gonna subconsciously think, what value do you add to their life? Are you there for support? Do you make them laugh? Are you generous with things? You have to actually give and then also receive back from friends. I know it sounds quite transactional, but you know those people who just kind of take the piss all the time, and they will actually, your mates will only be the ones to let you pay. They never pay for things. They'll always be the ones. They'll never add anything. They'll only call you when it's convenient. It's like, those are the friends that you go, you know what, they're probably not that good for you. But you know the other friends that are kind of there all the time whenever you need them. They'll make time for you. They'll shout you things. They're thoughtful. They care about you. They're the good friends to have. So you need to actually do that within yourself to be like, all right, I want to be the good mate of, you know, who am I being a good friend to and how am I going to do that? You're probably going to need to offer things, be generous, reciprocate, you know, offer your network, offer to, you know, do favors. Like you should be extending yourself out like that, because they will judge you accordingly, and also they should be willing to reciprocate. And if they don't, might not be a good friend. The next one is very similar, but it's to do with your partner. You have to choose your partner carefully. With me, I've always been huge on the fact that I need to be friends with the girl that I'm dating. You know, I can't actually just be with them to fill that spot of, oh, that's the girlfriend, she's good looking, she's here, that's great, I deal with her personality. I see far too many guys settling for girls, and I know it's definitely the other way as well. There's a lot of girls that are like stuck in toxic relationships that they should get out of, but you know, that's not the point of this video. I'm talking about the guys, because guys, I see it a lot too. A lot of guys I see stick around in relationships because they're settling, because the fact that their girlfriend's good looking, and they go, oh, but you know, it's not that bad. And I'm like, dude, you can't even hang around her like without wanting to just jump off a bridge. And I couldn't do that either. Like I honestly just could not do it at all. Stick my fingers in this door and jam them shut. If I'm with a girl that like I don't get along with, that's over for me. And I've learned the hard way, because sometimes I have found myself in situations where I'm like, what am I doing here? What the fuck are we doing? I know you guys are probably thinking, hey, it's easy for you to say you're a solid 12 out of 10. I'm kidding, obviously, but you know, there's gonna be people commenting and stuff like that. And the thing is, no, you have to set a higher standard for yourself. If you set yourself as a low standard and go, this is all I'm ever gonna get, then it is all you're ever gonna get. But if you say to yourself, I actually deserve someone who I enjoy hanging out with and I'm attracted to, that is your standard, and I guarantee you will attract that standard. What you many guys break up with their girlfriends now and be like, I want a model who makes me laugh. Now this one is when you're just looking for a girl, and that is, you shouldn't have to chase them hard. I mean, always you're gonna have to have some kind of like, you know, chase and pursuit, because that's kind of the game, but it shouldn't be too hard. You shouldn't be left on red. You shouldn't be ignored all the time. You shouldn't actually have plans canceled at the last second. There are so many like events and instances where guys just get strung along and they go, oh, maybe, and they'll believe all the shitty excuses. Like, guys, if they're canceling plans like every time, 3 times in a row, last second, oh, sorry, I can't make it tonight, my kidney fell out. And you'll be like, shit, how many kidneys does this chick have? Like, how? It's just, she's probably just not right for you, okay? Take the hint, move on. Don't be one of those guys going, oh, what's that? Oh, your kidney fell out? Oh no, let's do next week. I have no plans. I've cleared my plans for you. Don't do that. Just be like, look, if they're not interested, sweet, move on. Next one, don't compare yourself to people you see on social media. That includes me. Don't you fucking dare. There's a lot of reasons why. One is actually a statistical reason. This is like, because social media is the most biased sample size you'll ever see. For a sample size to be representative of the population, it has to be pretty much a healthy representation. It can't be skewed by things. Social media and influencers, myself included, skew this dramatically, because if you look at the people who are successful on social media, which is like most people follow and compare themselves to, now you've got a very, very biased sample size that is absolutely not indicative of the general population. You've got people who are like attractive from birth. You've got people who have the most elite genetics for fat loss and building muscle. You have people who have really lucky breaks, brought up in really wealthy families. You have all of these, the interaction of these variables, and every now and then you'll get somebody who's like the general population and just lucky and just, you know, has worked hard, but a lot of the time you just don't. And the fact that you're dealing with such a biased sample is that now that's telling you what the world should look like, and that's saying, okay, you're comparing yourself to these people. Horrible. It's just like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like now for myself, I follow a lot of like fitness models on social media, like influencers, right? And I'll look at my Instagram feed and I'll go, the world is shredded. You know, like that's the way I see that. That's what I focus on. I go, oh my God, everyone looks like David Lade, Alex Eubank, Mike Thurston, Larry Wills. Oh my God, I'm tiny. That's like the way, I'm tiny and fat. That's how I feel. But then I go walk outside and I just walk through the shopping center and I go, oh my God, everyone's fat as fuck. Like that's the reality, is I walk around, everyone's overweight. And I'm like, okay, I was comparing myself to a group of like, you know, the 0.001%. That's harmful. And it it never ends. If you start doing this, you're always gonna do this. And again, the other side that everyone knows is that social media is a highlight reel. People post how they want to be perceived. They don't post what they actually are. They don't post their downsides of when they're struggling with everything or when they don't know if they can hold things up. It's not nice. They don't do that. They just post when life looks great. So take it with a grain of salt, and also just catch yourself when you do compare and go, why am I doing this? Get out of it. And if you have to unfollow people, just do that. Just honestly, it'll be easier for you. Just don't unfollow me. This last one is interesting. I see this with a lot of young guys specifically, but I also see it with older guys as well. And it is, you won't win with jealousy. There's a lot of guys, especially in Australia, I find it's like a tall poppy syndrome kind of thing where someone's doing well, your friend's doing well, a lot of people kind of want to see them fail. Like deep down, they kind of want to see them fail because it'll make themselves feel better about themselves. It's such a horrible way to be. As soon as you can shift your mentality from like hoping your friend fails secretly to then being happy for them, you will achieve so much more, because you then have shared happiness for your friend's success. You let them know that. They see that it's genuine. They don't see that, oh, nice, congrats, man. They don't see that. They see it's genuine, and then they want to help you out. So you projecting your like happiness on them, they're gonna want to go, oh my God, this is so cool. He's genuinely happy. How can I help you? And it works both ways. A lot of people act like it's a zero-sum game. They act like his success is taking away from my success, and it's not the case. Even if you're in the same industry, it's good. Like, don't treat friends as competition. Don't do that. Like, help them, do what you can to boost your mates up. The reason why this is important is because your network is very, very important. Who you surround yourself with is going to dictate who you will become. So you need to surround yourself with people that are positive, uplifting, make you want to do better. They get the best out of you. That is where the money is, because once you start doing that, your standards for yourself, they just keep elevating. And then your circle wins, and then you win. And it is very, very important. If you have people in your circle that are like just drainers and negative and just suck all the life out of it, like honestly, it is just get rid of them. Literally, get rid of them. Distance yourself. You have no obligation to anyone, and you deserve to surround yourself with people that you can lift each other up and get the best out of each other. So that is where I'm going to finish this video. If you guys did enjoy this, you're still with me, hit that like button below and comment something. What can you comment? Comment what is in this drink here. What do you reckon that is? And you guys know what to do. Stay massive.